Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Bedovich here for SkiSoutheast.com. Thought I'd get right into the forecast this week because kind of like what we've seen so far this season, it's cold during the week and warm on the weekends. It's such a weird pattern and it just looks like it's going to continue. So I'll start with the forecast part here. We're going to have good snowmaking, and I'm seeing the snowmakers going to town right now. And I would tell you, if you're at one of the resorts or you have any connection to the resorts, make as much snow as you possibly can the next couple of days. We've got a blast of cold air here midweek, and you got to crank it out because by the weekend, going into Christmas, it looks warm and wet. So we're not going to have the opportunity to fluff things up until maybe longer down the road, because just like we've seen this season, every weekend it warms up and then it gets cold and snowy during the week. It's just like a bizarre pattern all the way around. So let's start with the bigger pattern here. I'm going to show you here kind of what this pattern looks like, because it is really bizarre to see this setup. You see the dip in the jet stream over us, so nice dip. This is what you want to see, the nor'easter cranked up, and boy, if it was January we had cold air in place, that nor'easter would have been an all-timer, but unfortunately it was mostly rain with some snow on the backside. You see that move out. Things moderate this week, and by the weekend, as we get closer to the weekend, notice things flatten out and even a little bit of a ridge builds. And what I mean by that is, you see the jet stream go like that. It's okay if it's zonal west to east. We can kind of make do with cold nights, but when you get a ridge cranking up that direction, that's a bad sign. We see the dip in the jet stream out west, and that tries to push east, but it looks like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day looking pretty warm and possibly wet. Now that low does move across the country. It's not as cold as the one we just had, but again, in the middle of the week, the troughs come in the middle of the week and the ridges are on the weekend. So it is a weird pattern. So let's look at what this looks like. So you're seeing the snow tonight. I'm loving the webcams tonight. Everybody's making snow and getting snow. This is a nice little northwest flow, but boy, that wind, it's nasty. So next couple of nights got high pressure and control, so really ideal snowmaking, maybe 24/7 snowmaking for Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday becomes more of a nighttime issue. During the day it might be too warm, and then we get into kind of an inversion setup by Friday, so I'm a little questioning there. But look what happens as we go into the weekend. We get some rain-snow mix moving in Saturday, possibly for West Virginia, Virginia. But then on Sunday into Monday for Christmas, it's a pretty wet system that moves in, and that's too warm. On the backside, though, maybe just like our last system, middle of the week next week might be an opportunity. Hopefully this turns colder and becomes more of a northwest flow as another coastal low-pressure system moves. But if we look real quickly at the potential cold air and snow combination, I'm going to go all the way through next Thursday. So this is not what's already fallen. This is addition to what's falling here on Monday night. Not a ton, a little bit more up in West Virginia, but as I mentioned, the snowmaking's key here, because I do think the week of Christmas to New Year's is not going to be super cold, so there are only going to be some hit and miss opportunities for snowmaking. That's why what all the resorts do this week will set the stage for a pretty good week next week. The good news is they've been making great snow, and I've been seeing a lot of areas actually have more snow already this part of the season than we did all of last season. So it's trending in the right direction. Just remember last year it was freezing cold around Christmas, and that's when a lot of the Southeast resorts, that week of Christmas to New Year's last year, was the only really cold week, and that's when they made snow nonstop, and that kept them going well into February and even early March in a few spots. This is going to be the opposite. We're making it in the middle of the week. This should be more of a prolonged setup, because what I'm seeing right now in the long-range pattern, and you're seeing it reflected, it's not consistent cold, but it's also not consistent warmth, which is actually pretty good news, because even if it warms up, there's short-lived warm snaps, and then it gets cold again. So, as always, think snow. I'm going to hope the beginning of the year is going to be a big turnaround in this pattern. We're going to have cold air in place, and these coastal lows, which are becoming more frequent in the last couple of weeks, that's a good sign. That storm track is there. We just got to get the cold air, and we could be cooking. Have a great couple of days. I'll post an update going into the holiday weekend, and as always, think snow.